Oftentimes we use the concept and symbolism of looking into a mirror as a way of introspection and having to deal and face the terrible and filthy things you've done with your life. If that describes you, I would suggest that you suppress those emotions by learning how to mirror chord voicings and arpeggios in a musical exercise. And the demonstration we have today will sound like this. So basically all we have there are two different chord voicings and an accompanying arpeggio. This is going to be in the key of G, right? The key of G major. So our first chord, our one chord, is a G major chord. Now the first thing that I did there, I used a G major 7 chord voicing, all right? So what that means, you just take the G major scale, you take the first, the third, the fifth, and the seventh notes of it, right? Now if you do the next octave of it, it would look even easier. The first, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. It looks just like a staircase. Okay, so my pinky is on 5D, my ring finger is on 4G, my middle finger is on 3D, and my index finger is on 2E. Now, a really easy chord to kind of conceptualize, it may be a little more difficult for you if you're just starting out to kind of really get in that position to use all 4 fingers and kind of stretch them out to their own fret, right? Now, the beauty of this is we can mirror this shape in one other spot while staying in the key. And that's going to be on the 4 chord. The 1 chord in any key and the 4 chord can become major 7 chords, right? So this shape will work. You can use it really wherever you want, but it's always going to work on the 1 and the 4, right? So in the key of G, G, A, B, C, the C would be the 4 chord, right? So if we go down to a C, we're going to be here, like my middle finger's on the 8th fret. And now we can do the same thing where we just take the octave and staircase that up to make a C major 7 chord, right? So all I'm doing is I'm mirroring exactly what I'm doing in the G section of the chord, and then doing it all the way down here on the C section of the chord, right? So all I have to do is you can think in just terms of frets, like if I'm rooted on the 5th fret right here, I'm going from 5 to 10. So you can always think, if you're on the 1 chord, 5 frets away, 5 frets higher, that's where the 4 chords chord voicing arpeggio is going to be, right? So I'm just picking it out, and this is also a picking exercise too if you want to use your fingers or a pick. I'm just going down on the D and the G strings, and then up on the E and the B strings, right? So down, down, up, up. And just mirroring exactly what I'm doing on a G and a C major 7, right? Now after that, we'll kind of do the opposite of that. Well, maybe not the opposite, but just a different flavor is going to be a minor 7 chord voicing, right? And now there are 3 chords in any key that become minor 7 chords. Those would be the chords on the 2, the 3, and the 6. So in the key of G, the 2 would be an A, the 3 would be B. Why did it take me so long to think of that? An A and a B, and then the 6 would be an E, right? So basically when you take this 1 chord voicing, I've got my middle finger on the 5th fret of the low E string. There's my A. My ring finger is grabbing that minor 7 chord, that interval right there, and then my pinky is grabbing the 5th fret on the G string. So again, conceptually a very easy chord to remember because everything is sharing the same fret. And I'm just picking it kind of like a 4-note thing, like a very steady 1, 2, 3, 4, E, D, G, D, right? There's my A minor 7. I can go a step higher to get a B minor 7 to the 3 chord. And then I can go down to the 12th fret to get the 6 chord, the relative minor, the E minor 7 chord. Okay, so I've got 3 in a row. I've got A minor 7, B minor 7, E minor 7, okay? And this is really an interesting thing to know outside of just this key because this works in any single key. Like if you're in the key of A, for instance, you know that the 2, 3, and 6 will be like, here's your A, you just go a step higher. There's the 2 chord. I don't even have to know what the chord is. I know this is the 2 chord, this is the 3 chord, and this is the 6 chord, right? So all the spacing between these mirrored shapes is always going to be the same no matter what key you're in, all right? So again, we've got the G major 7, maybe 2 times through to the C major 7. And we can do that like twice, right? To the 2 chord, to the 3 chord, to the 6 chord. Now we're going to do this. we're gonna arpeggiate these chords, okay? So again, we'll start with the E spot, the relative minor, right? And if we take the E minor scale, we can arpeggiate that chord by taking the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 8, or the 1 again. So an E, a G, a B, and another E. Now, that's gonna work over any of these minor chords in the key. Now, the way we're gonna play it actually is we're gonna take the root note and we're gonna slide into the minor third. Instead of playing it like this, we're gonna slide from the root to the minor third, come back up to the 5th, grab the octave, and back. So, and again, really good picking exercise too, because I'm picking down, down, up, up. There's a lot of ways you can do it. You can do it with all downstrokes if you want to challenge yourself. There's a lot of different ways to pick these exercises, but it's just a good idea to kind of like get in a groove where you can do it quickly. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing, starting on the B minor, and then on the A. Okay, so we've got E, B, A. Now we're gonna do the next octave of this, all right? So if we're back here on E again, right? This is gonna be where the next slide starts. This octave E, we can do the same thing. Slide a minor third back. Now we have to compensate for the B string, right? If we just did the exact same shape, that wouldn't work because the B string is tuned differently. So we have to slide into this shape. Now the way I played it in the intro, I just kind of took a little piece, like a minor chord shape right here, where my middle finger is on the 17th fret of the D string, my index finger is on the 16th fret of the G string, and my ring finger is on the 17th fret of the B string. You can do this on an acoustic, even if you can't reach this high, you can just do them in a different spot. You can mirror back, right? But really, I'm just sliding into the minor third, which I know is right there. I know the next one, B's octave, would lend me kind of on the 12th fret right here, and then A's octave would get me a step lower, right? So I can always repeat these. All right, so it's just the next highest octave of this little arpeggio run. So again, I'll do the whole thing. We're gonna start with this G major 7 2 times, to the C major 7 twice, back to G, to C, to the A minor 7, to the B minor 7, to the E minor 7. Maybe we can do that one more time. And now that we're on this E minor 7, we can do the arpeggios. And then maybe the second time we go higher. And then not on a G. So it's a good way to kind of musically practice chord voicings, arpeggios, picking, and a lot of different things. And I think that is the #1 way to practice for me. Everybody's different. You know, some people like a more structured, kind of scale-based approach. I always think it's cooler to kind of make something a little more musical, and hopefully you can incorporate this into your own practicing. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, the comments, or the website, and I will talk soon. Thanks a lot.